Hi there, Dead Ideal Boy here, back with another video, and in this one we are jumping into Daily Race C. It's on our US account, and you've just seen a teaser clip in the trailer there, and that is a sign of things to come. This is crazy. Do not go anywhere because I can't believe I've managed to fit everything into this one video. Now, if you're new here and you've not subscribed to the channel, then please help the channel out, subscribe to it, and it would mean everything because we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. With your help, you could be one of the first 10,000. That would be amazing. Now, you can see here, turn one, already it is chaos. We've got somebody who basically came to a complete standstill, forcing me to come to a complete standstill. The ghosting system working overtime there, as you saw. That was the leader of the race, reversing back onto the track with not a care for who he might take out. And luckily he ghosted right through me. So that was the most scary incident to start the race that I have seen for a long time, but we've survived, and this just goes from bad to worse for many people, including me. Now, we jumped into this race in the McLaren. Most people by now are using the Supra because this was at the start of the week and I was not up to pace, so I thought I'll test the racing, I'll test my pace at the start of the week. As you see somebody going off to the left there, we're already up to P12, but you test my pace by jumping onto the US account, and you can see here we've got a run and we're heading down to Ascari. Now this is just absolutely unexplainable, inexplicable, unexplainable, both of those. You can see there the Ferrari driver, he knew exactly what he was doing. Both myself and the Supra had the run on him, and he decided, for no reason that I can think of, that he was just this, I wasn't getting past, and he put me firmly into the barrier, which in effect ended my race before the end of lap 1. Now, drivers like that, there should be a way of reporting them, because that is just a diabolical incident. It's not called for, it wastes the game, it wastes the racing, and yeah, I have no words. I've said it so many times, I can't keep going on about how these drivers are getting away with it, but it just seems to be no end of dirty drivers out there that are deciding to ruin other people's races for whatever reason they feel necessary. So yeah, it was basically race over from the beginning, although we do catch up to the pack here. You can see here somebody just coming out of the pits, and we kind of unfortunately get tangled up in a little bit of the mess going round turn one. But at this point, my head is in a bit of a scramble. And actually, at this stage, I was just thinking if I could catch up with that guy somehow, that I would have my revenge. I was deciding that, yeah, I was going to take revenge, but we wouldn't get as far as being able to catch up with him because this happened. And in my frustration, I just got the power down too much, spun out, end of race. But we'll go back and have a little look at the incident here. Now, the Ferrari that has ghosted to a standstill, as you can see, the leader almost taking me out in reverse mode. But that Ferrari that ghosted to a standstill is the guy who eventually takes me out. As we look here, this is what happened to the leader. He just basically got bundled round turn one and off the track. And yeah, what a rejoin this would have been if he had not ghosted out. But yeah, anyway, the Ferrari that had came to the standstill was the guy who took me out. Now, I don't know why he decided to take me out, but this is how he did it. The Supra is almost boxed in, but I just let the Supra in and decided, right, let's go for the run up the outside. And an absolute deliberate takeout. There's no question about it. He knew I was there. I know he knew I was there because, well, if you've done that to somebody accidentally, you might stop, you might say sorry. No, not this guy. He knows he's been done here. He sees the Supra getting the run, he thinks, nah, I'm not letting two people get past me. A quick switch over to the side, leaving me in his wake. So he knew what he was doing, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of that race, which ended promptly for me. However, we were not put off. We decided to jump back in, and this time we're going to go in the Supra. We're going to join the meta crew and see how we get on from the back, because by this point my pace was slightly better, not as quick. I'm actually doing not too bad in it just now. I've actually managed to pick up my pace, but here I just had a little spidey sense that something was going to happen, and you can see here The guy, the only guy who was behind me from the start of the grid, almost wiped us out. So even if you're starting at the back, you're not safe in this race. You're just not safe. Absolute shout out to the guy in front for managing to avoid him as well. But yeah, that just goes to prove that even if you start at the front, you can be wiped out. Even if you start at the back, you can be wiped out. There is nobody who's safe at Monza, lap 1, turn 1. And even the second chicane, there is nobody safe, because there's another 2 drivers sadly meeting their fate. So we're already up to P12 and we've done, well, nothing really, as somebody else exits stage left and another. And we've now got somebody in the McLaren with a penalty. So as always, basically, if you can stay out of trouble at Monza, which is a lot of the time more by luck than design, you will pick up positions quite freely. And starting at the back isn't a bad place to do it, because as you can see, people are meeting their fate before you can even, well, before you even have to try and attempt to get past them. So there's a lot of free positions to be had. You can see here the Corvette almost losing it as well, because Ascari can be quite lethal if you get on those curbs, hit those little sausage bumps, and they can really, really unsettle your car. So I've got a decision to make now at the end of lap 1. Do we pit? Do we get away from the chaos, or do we continue to try and fight our way through? It will be decided by whatever these guys in front, immediately in front of me, do, and they're staying out, and that's my cue to get into the pits and see where we can make up some positions if we're just lapping on our own. Now, by the end of lap 2, you can see there's some more chaos as we go past 3 drivers, and somebody gets called a joker. Now, remember what just happened there, because we're going to analyse that at the end of the race, because it is well worth analysing. Now, still in P9, but we're now at the end of lap 3, starting lap 4. You can see over on the right hand side somebody in the Suzuki coming out of the pits. Another free position for me, and round we go, turn 1, and out we go of turn 1 as we get absolutely sideswiped. Now, that was accidental. I felt for the guy. He leaves the race, and well, you know, we've all been there. We have all been there in that position where you basically think you've ruined somebody's race and you quickly apologise and then leave, probably more from embarrassment than anything else. So yeah, if you're watching this video, I don't blame you. I understand. I've been there. I honestly have. Now we're skipping all the way to the end of lap 10, because we pick up another 2 free positions here. Miraculously, we're now up to P4, and P4 is where we are going to finish in a race which saw us getting taken out, but still recover to get a decent finish in the end. However, we need to go back and look at some of the major incidents. Here was turn 1, lap 1, where this guy from behind me almost wiped us all out. This guy in front of me has the awareness of somebody from the Matrix, as he manages to somehow put the brakes on and let the guy sail on right through the gap. Amazing. Now, at the end of lap 2, we did say we would need to go back and look at an incident where we saw 2 cars spun out. Well, here is why. There was actually 3 cars spun out, because this guy here gets taken out, and the guy on the inside then goes all vigilante and decides, I'm taking you out in retaliation for that absolutely abhorrent move that I just witnessed. So it was all kicking off. You can see here again, he just takes him out for no reason other than it looked like he was going to get overtaken, and this guy sacrifices his own race to take out the vigilante justice on said blue Supra. Now, both of them get back on track and head down to turn 1, and this guy's not finished as he tries to take out this guy who also tried to take him out, and then he goes off the track and then tries to take him out again. But the ghosting system working overtime, amazing. Here was the last lap, and these were the 2 that were battling just ahead of me. This is absolutely suicidal though, when you go into a Ascari like this. You can see the Corvette has every right to be a bit annoyed, which he was in the post-race lobby, as, well, anybody would expect. However, this incident is the cherry on the icing of all cakes. You can see here, the Mercedes driver puts himself in the wall, and then the worst attempt to rejoin a track in the history of sim racing, bar none. Rejoining right into the middle of 3 cars coming round a corner at full speed and manages to wipe every one of them out. It is poetry in motion when you see this back. It is carnage. It is, well, everything a rejoin should not be. Let's just look at it in cinematic mode to get the full beauty of this. You can see here, puts himself in the wall, an awful attempt to turn the car round, gets a little bit slidey, and then 1, 2, and there's your third, managing somehow to wipe all 3 cars out in the one rejoin. It was simply mind-blowing. Now, I've had my say about rejoins in the past, and this, I think, will never ever be beaten in terms of horrible rejoins. But there you have it. That is Monza Daily Race C in a nutshell. If you've enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button. If you've enjoyed the content in the video, then hit the subscribe button. Be one of the first 10,000 subscribers. We can still get there with your help. And yeah, hopefully see you all on the next one. Goodbye.